Welcome to the Up Podcast, raw real talk on everything young parenting.
From self-care, co-parenting, and family planning to balancing school, work, relationships, and goals.
Together, we're challenging society's assumptions and building a safe and supportive community for young parents.
One honest conversation at a time. So join us on the journey.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our very first Yup podcast. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in, whomever is behind the screen, whether it be young parents, former young parents, different organizations. We are happy to have you here and am super excited in this partnership. So like I said, this is our very first Yup podcast. And as your host, my name is Divine Justice. I am a former 16 and pregnant and am now 24 years old with a 7-year-old daughter, still navigating this world out and hoping to help others along my journey. And along me today, co-hosting, we have Brandy, and I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for watching and for giving this a chance. This is our very first podcast, and I'm actually super excited about it. A little bit about me. I am a former young parent. I had my daughter at 21 and was pregnant at 20. And honestly, I'm still navigating this parenting journey too. So we're super excited to partner and to get you all on board with Yup. So we'll get started. Yup actually stands for Young United Parents. And Young United Parents really did stem out of the need for young parents to have a safe space that's free, that provides resources, that is a space for them to connect and to just be. And so it's a free, holistic educational website. It has a ton of videos and articles. It's made by young parents, for young parents. And the videos and articles showcase experts, they showcase young parents, they showcase a whole lot of different topics, from managing stress to family planning to co-parenting and setting goals and finishing school. And so there's so much content on there, and we're super excited to share it with you.
Yes, exactly. And for all of those who don't know, Yup was actually created by young parents themselves. And I think that's actually one of my favorite aspects of it and just ties back into having that safe space, and just having a community for us. And it's even more special because it's actually by us. And when creating and designing our Yup platforms, it was very important for us to specifically target the unique needs of young parents, which, leads into different stigmas and judgments and a variety of different challenges that young parents face on a daily. And for the members in our community, you will have the opportunity to create your own profile, join in community discussion forums, upload pictures and thoughts on your timeline that you may not feel comfortable posting on different platforms. And of course, overall, interact and connect with other young parents in the community.
I'm so glad that you alluded to our community piece, Divine, because that was a really big piece when designing Yup, right? So the idea that you can connect with other young parents and it's a judgment-free zone, the idea that you can post pictures and videos and even ask questions in discussion forums and have the answers be from people who identify with being a young parent too is super important. So I have a question for you, because I know that the community piece is super helpful, and I know that it's there's a lot of people on there right now. But what do you think about it? Like, have you used it? What are your thoughts? And then also, just what was the deciding factor for you to start using the community piece as a young parent?
Yeah, absolutely, Brandy. Well, one, I really do value and appreciate the community for a variety of reasons, and I also utilize the platform for a variety of reasons as well. So, for one, I would say I find the community very comforting and reassuring, in the fact of I'm not alone in this. There's other young parents regardless of what timeline or, state they're in life at the moment. So I really do value that comforting piece. And I also really value, the variety of different testimonies that we have on the site and just allowing me to have the opportunity to appreciate other stories because there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes in young parenthood that a lot of people just don't know about. So I really appreciate the diversity that we have in this platform. And for those who don't know as well, Yup is a national site and a national resource. So, being able to connect and feeling like I'm traveling and getting these experiences and connecting with others from different states, it gives me a piece of comfort and education. I find this so funny that I learn something new all the time, and it allows me to relate and learn from other young parents, whether it be fathers, mothers, non-binary parents. I'm learning new things that one I never knew about myself and about others. So it just gives us, a place to learn from others without feeling judged or, not ready, not prepared, not knowing enough. So I really do appreciate that fact of it. And then just to answer the second part of what I was saying, as far as how I utilize it, I really love going to the discussion forums to ask advice or, put myself out there in a way where I'm not feeling judged and I am feeling seen. And I know that what I'm saying, someone else is feeling. So I'm able to get insight from someone else who may be in similar shoes as myself. And I also go on there for when I create goals and different things like that. Yep has a goal tool. So it allows me to plan for my future and connect with others in a community, made for us by us. So yeah, Brandy, I really do love the community. And I highly encourage, everyone out there who is in need of a young parent community to please go do so, make a profile and join the community because it is free and, it is there to help.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think we keep highlighting free is free. And I
Right.
know as a young parent, free is hard to come by, but it's free and it is really a judgment free space. And so, I think what's crazy to me with being a young parent, being a formerly a young parent, is that there is so much judgment and stigma around it. I remember being a young parent and thinking to myself, like, if I tell people that I'm pregnant, they're going to judge me because I'm not married or because I'm not done with school or because I'm young and I haven't figured it out. Right. And some of that did happen. People had things to say. And on the other side, some people didn't. Right. And I think because of that, young parents just have such a hard time just being in society, being there with our kids, and maybe the other parents are, have the white picket fence and 2.5 children and a dog and a husband and everything else like that. And maybe that's, our life too. But a lot of times we're coming into the situation feeling like we're not worthy of being there or feeling like we don't fit there or that people are going to have things to say or they're going to be secretly judging us. And I think that that's super important to highlight that Yup is that judgment free space. It doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum. If you're 15, if you're 24, if you're anywhere in between, married, not married, 3 children, 6 children, one child, whatever it is. Yeah. So I think, it's important to just know that this is spaces for you. So we talk a lot about judgment and stigma, and there's a lot of young parents who talk about that. But Divine, in a lot of your content, you talk about finding out that you were pregnant and what that did to your relationships with your parents, with your friends, issues with school, and things like that. So can you talk a little bit more about judgment and how that played a role after you found out that you were pregnant at 16?
Yeah, it played a huge role in my life, a life-changing role. And it played such a huge role to the fact that I didn't even tell my parents or tell the world of my pregnancy until I was maybe 6, 7 months pregnant at the time. So with that being said, I was always in hiding, always in isolation due to fear from the world, fear from my parents, fear from my peers. And though I did have peers at the time, during the generation I was raised in, you know how cliques went, you know how friend groups went. There was no real friendship and things like that. So it was very judgmental, and I was very looked down upon due to my decisions that I made at that age and things like that. But at the time when I did find out I was pregnant, I was actually going to a private Mennonite school. And due to just so much fear and anxiety from the stigma and judgment I was already receiving before I was pregnant, I was not even going to risk, graduating from this school. And just with the thought process of, maybe my grades being messed up or having, different interactions with teachers due to my decisions. So it was really hard. I did lose almost all of my friends due to leaving the school I was attending. And even when I had friends after pregnancy, you're really able to see one on one, face to face, who's there for you, who's not there for you, who's willing to support and assist you. Because it truly does take a village, and it can be very challenging finding out who your village is and who is no longer meant to be in your village. So I feel like it did impact me a lot. And I almost, was scared of not graduating because when I did leave, I wasn't enrolled in a school, and it took me a little bit to decide how I wanted to finish my education. So thankfully, I did end up, going online that year. It was my 11th grade year. In my 12th grade year, I was in a place where I did have the resources for me, and I was in young parent groups, and I had a mentor, which actually led me to going to college and living in college with my daughter as my roommate. So it definitely, is on a spectrum from where I began, where I am now, what I had to go through. But it did impact me a lot. It impacted my relationship with my parents, and it even impacted the relationship with my child's father. And granted, we were in it together during that time, but after you have a child, you have to raise a child and take care of a child and be a parent to the child. So you get to witness, the sacrifices you make and sacrifices others may not have to make and things like that. So there's just, a lot of different ways that it has impacted me and put me in isolation almost just from different anxieties and fears I had.
Yeah. No, that's real. I mean, all of what you said is real. I think knowing your village is real. You really start to learn who's in it and who's only in it. I can say having a daughter that's a little bit older, like after the cutesy phase, after they're a little baby and a toddler, you start to see people, dip out
Yeah.
regularly because it's not the novelty of having a cute little baby is now done, right? And now they're a whole human that tells you about yourself and their opinions and everything else. And so I think that that's real. And I would hope that, I know that in the community, there's a lot of comments like that. Like, how do I deal with telling my parent that I'm pregnant? Or how do I deal with talking to my friends? Or how do I deal with you know, even dating. I know you talk a lot about dating as a single parent, and that's rough. Like out in these streets today, it is a whole different ball game for
Wow.
single parents, especially. So, um, all of that is on Yup, and I think that I'm grateful to you and your story, and I think so many people kind of can resonate with the stories that you tell and how it mirrors their own story. I think, going back to like goals, we talked about that earlier. We talked about resources, and there's a lot of that. There's a goal tool where you can kind of track your progress in your goals. You can set goals. And I think that having goals is super important as a parent. I think that it shows your kids accountability. I feel like it shows yourself accountability. And I feel like it makes you like look forward to something, which I think is really important, especially as a young parent, because sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we maybe had to leave school or maybe, had to leave a job or had to leave, hanging out with friends or whatever it is. And I think it's hard sometimes to look forward to things. And so even if it's like I set the goal to go to the grocery store this week, I set the goal to take a shower today, okay, by myself, or do a bubble bath or something by myself. I set this goal. I'm going to follow through with it. And when you follow through with it, it's kind of that relieving feeling of something that you look forward to and that came to fruition. So I'm just kind of curious about the goals that you have, Divine. I know you have a lot. Check her out on the website. She talks about entrepreneurship, mompreneurship, and all kind of stuff. But um, what are some of your goals, your personal goals, your goals with your baby, all of it?
Yes, yes, for all who don't know, I am a behind the scenes superstar. I love entrepreneurship, mompreneurship. Yeah, I love all those kind of things. But yeah, I've always been a big dreamer, goal getter, goal setter. And it comes with pros and cons because it can easily you can easily feel defeated when your goal doesn't go as planned, or you didn't accomplish it on the time you wanted, when you wanted. And that was a big thing for me, just struggling with the reality of my timeline, the reality of my life, the reality of my responsibilities, because I have these big dreams, but sometimes those dreams don't align with what I have going on. So I try to be very realistic, but I never limit myself because I do have big dreams. And, though it may be harder and longer to get to, I definitely, do everything in my power to say I tried. And, I do believe, what I do now and what I put forth now is all, going towards the future and who I want to be and become. But yeah, some of my goals. So as of right now, a lot of my goals are starting up businesses that I've had on hold. I've picked up different skill sets from when I graduated high school. I graduated with my esthetician license. I recently got my lash certificate. And just on the topic of goals, I do want to share how it's okay if your goals change, and it's okay to compose new goals, because I had goals before I found out I was pregnant. And though my goals are similar, they have completely changed and evolved. And I still feel comfort in the fact that I'm achieving them in a different way. Just as an example, before I got pregnant, I've always wanted to go to school for fashion and become this big model. And going to school in New York for fashion was not realistic as a 16 and pregnant. But now we are in this huge marketing generation. So I am now having the opportunity to, model online and create online fashion businesses and clothing brands that I've always dreamed of. So it just goes to show that, goals change, goals evolve. You can compose new goals. I picked up the goal of psychology, and I was able to graduate with a bachelor's. Yes, I am an educated young woman with her bachelor degree in psychology and business. I would have never in a million years thought I would go to school for that. And I love the psychology realm. And, being a part of the psychology realm has actually allowed me to be in the position I am now, being here, helping others, mentoring young parents, and just being that person that I wish I had. And so I love to be that person for others. So that is really why we always keep a mutual partnership within YEP, because we really do value our members and the other young parents in our community. But yes, goals, like Brandy said, go check me out on my social medias, because I'm going to be someone one day, because I'm somebody now, and so are you. So keep dreaming big. I honestly create new goals every single day. I'm going to be the next billionaire, so you can too. Goals, goals, goals. Every single day, create a new one, because every single day you should be, crossing off different goals. You woke up today, you know, you're surviving, you're taking care of your responsibilities. This is all a part achieving your goals because each goals have different steps and every step means something. Every effort is put forth to something. So just those little efforts, you need to be congratulating yourself on that because no one's seen how hard that was for you to accomplish. So all those things you're achieving behind closed doors, give yourself the recognition and for that because that is a part of accomplishing goals, whether it be a piece of the goal, half of the goal, you're already at the, finish line. You've completed something. So be proud of you because you're only going up, you're only going to achieve more. So yeah, I'm very big on goals.
I love it. First of all, I'm about to pat myself on the back for doing school drop off today. Okay. That was the goal of the day. No, but first of all, Divine, like we talk at least once a week. And why did I not know that you just got your lash certification? That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm all about, lots of different things, lots of streams of income. But again, Yup is free. So whether there's a stream of income or not, you can still join Yup.
Yes.
No, but I appreciate that. And I think, we set goals as a Yup team too. And we have a lot of goals to just grow the community. We want to outreach. We are Divine and our social media team are out there hustling and, getting it done. The content is amazing and we're getting new followers every day. We have, a youth advisory council that really, helps us to make different decisions about Yup. And I think it's important that we continue to grow, but that we continue to grow based on the needs of the new young parents who are kind of coming up, right? And so because it's everyone is evolving, things are evolving, and so we want to hear from you. Our goal is to get new parent users, to get more followers, to get this, platform to grow and be amazing, and to just kind of spread the word that being a young parent is not a disease. It is not a death sentence. It is not over. It is just the beginning of a new, beautiful journey. I will say, having a daughter who's um, a preteen now, she gives me a hard time and she tries to act like I'm old, but then at the same token, she thinks it's so cool that I'm not like her peers' parents are my mom's age because she was also 16 and pregnant. And so, things like that where it's like it all comes around. We're all doing the best that we can do. But as a Yup community, our goal is to continue to grow, continue to get people engaged and locked in. We have some paid opportunities. I don't know if you want to speak on those, Divine, but those are also opportunities for young parents to get involved.
Yes, and in some corner, we're going to try to link you that QR code. Yes, we are always continuously looking for Yup community members who are, willing to go that extra mile and be the face of Yup and serve as a public ambassador. And some of those opportunities consist of just kind of simply, a sit down one on one interview sort of feel where you have the opportunity to, share your stories and share your parenting testimonies and any tips of advice that you would love to share with the young parent community that can help them in whatever they're going through. Um, or we have different opportunities to just serve as a social media public ambassador and just really focus on promotion and helping us get more followings and sponsorships and bring people back to the site. And then we have just a general YAC opportunity, which allows you to be part of our council, our youth advisory council, who we meet once a month. And those are the individuals who, are responsible for creating YAP, who help make decisions on colors, topics, themes, ideas, things like that, that we want to pour back into the community. So by all means, please do apply. They are all paid opportunities, and we are continuously looking for people. So, there's no deadline of when you can apply. Like we said earlier, this is a national and this is ongoing. We're always posting new content and we're always looking for new stories to share, new testimonies, new tips, and, anything that we can pour into our community for the better and help them thrive as parents.
Yes. So this is not the last time that you're going to see us. We're excited to kind of keep this going. So flood us with messages on topics that you want to talk about. We want to talk about all things from pregnancy to co-parenting. Co-parenting.
That one we might have a bunch of episodes on that.
To stress, self-care, all the things. So if there's something that you want to learn more about, if you want to be a guest, if you want to join our community, if you have questions, reach out to us. We are excited to connect with you all. And until next time.
Yes, and before we close off, just like Yup profile accounts are free, so is love. Love is free, support is free. So please do, if you liked this video and are excited to join the community for future videos, please do like, share, comment, repost. However you see fit. Promotion is free. That is huge on what we're focusing right now. And like Brandy said, if there's something you want to hear us talk about, or if you have personal questions about my experiences or Brandy's experiences, or if you'd like to, be a guest one day on our podcast, or you have an idea of someone who could be a potential guest, flood us up with ideas. We're never turning people down. Shoot us your shot. And we're happy to be a part of this partnership, and we look forward to connecting more with you and giving y'all what y'all want.
If you enjoyed the Up podcast, please subscribe, share, and leave a comment.
And visit youngunitedparents.org for the information, community, and resources young moms and dads need to thrive.